We're going to get back to basics right now on conga drum because I've been traveling all over and I know what you guys are up to, and it's not good. I'm kidding. I'm Kalani. Welcome to World Drum Club. In this lesson, we are going to go back to basics because I want to help you get your tones together. I want you to have a great sound. I want you to have a good drumming experience, which means being relaxed, being efficient, having nice sounding tones. So I'm going to share everything I can with you right now to help you make that happen. World Drum Club. Okay, so let's just review the three basic tones on most full-size hand drums like the conga. And I want to say that even though you can apply these techniques to other drums like djembes or what some people call ashikos or chimbao, other drums from other cultures that are similar, every one of those drums does have different techniques. They're not all the same. But I'm going to focus on congas right now. We know bass, right? But let's just review a couple of the keys to having proper technique. So we're going to sit with our hand on the drum, just inside the head. I don't like the term strike the drum in the middle because the middle of every single drum, large and small, is actually a node or what we call a dead spot. So if you strike the drum in a dead spot, it's not the best place to get the most resonance out of the drum. So even for the bass tone, and I know, the bass tone isn't probably a critical tone, but let's just agree that you don't have to strike the drum in the middle. You can strike it anywhere inside the head. The key for you is to focus on your palm, focus the weight, make sure you have good connection, and then let your fingers relax. And you can strike and bounce off, and some people strike the drum and stay on. So you can do bass both ways. All right, so let's do it both ways. So here, or this way. Now, I know you're not going to hear a lot of bass tone in this video, but that's our technique. Let's move on to the open tone, which is a tone that I see a lot of variation in technique. So I want to give you my recommendation right now. Focus on the lower part of your fingers. So down here, not at the fingertips. That's the next tone. So we're going to focus the kind of weight of our hand. We're going to make sure we're really connecting with the open tone and make sure that your knuckle line here is lined up with the edge of the drum. We call this the bearing edge, where the head folds over the shell. So make sure that that line is kind of right where your fingers meet your palm. And for congas, you can have your thumb next to your hand, slightly up, out a little bit. For djembe, we usually talk about making a triangle and keeping your thumb away from the rim altogether. But for congas, if you watch most players, you can just be relaxed. Just make sure it's not hitting the edge. You're going to move from the wrist, a little bit of forearm movement. And you want to really connect, again, with that lower part of your fingers so you get a full tone. So here's what my open tone sounds like. Notice I'm bouncing off the drum. So we don't play an open tone and stay on the drum. That's what we call sticky hand syndrome. All right, and it's not all from the wrists. So it's not just moving here. It's not like this. All right, and it's not from the shoulders. It's not like this. Sometimes I see people doing, I don't even know how they're doing that, but don't do that. Just relax. Move a little bit from your forearm. Let your wrist be supple. It's kind of like a little bit of a wave action, just subtle. Congas, we play a little more from our wrist than djembe. Djembe is more from the elbow, moving the hand and forearm together. Congas, a little more from the wrist, but not only from the wrist. So just watch some videos of some famous conga players, good conga players, and you'll see what I mean. But the key to a full tone is making sure that you're really connecting down here in the first two pads of your fingers on the head. Make sure you're not out at this knuckle line, the middle of your finger knuckle line. That is not the right knuckle line. So move up. Get it here, lined up with the bearing edge. So we want that drum head to just vibrate fully, and you want to get out of the way, let it do its thing, okay? Last is our slap tone. And there's a few different ways of playing a slap tone. I'm not going to cover all of them. I want to give you a tip that's going to help you, which is just relax. Relax your hand. If your fingers spread apart a tiny bit, that's fine. You don't need to try to spread them, but if they spread apart a little bit, but just relax. Relax, and then you're going to focus out at the your fingertips, and guess what? Pinky may not be invited to the party. That's okay. It's just kind of there. It's not really necessary, so don't worry about it, but just relax. Primary area of contact is the fingertips. Position on the drum, almost the same as the open tone. There's going to be some variation. I tend to come onto the drum a little more, moving towards the center of the drum, a little bit more than for the open tone, but that's just me. The thing you don't want to do is come way out here, get way out here at the edge and try to do some kind of edge tone like you're playing, like you would on darbuka or bongos. It's not out here. That is not a slap tone. That's an edge tone. That's more like trying to get harmonics out of the head. Actually, the slap does get harmonics, but not in that way. You're going to just let your finger curve a little bit of curve, focus the weight out to your fingertips, and then you can do a closed slap or an open slap. Let's start with an open slap. And then a closed slap would be just resting, not pressing into the head, because we don't want to create tension. We just want to create a different tone color. It's a shorter slap. It's called a closed slap. It's relaxed though. I'm not jamming my hand down. I'm not pressing into the head. Okay, so let's review. Bass tone, not in the center. Just on the head, focus on the palm. Open tone, knuckle line lined up with the edge. Focus on the lower part of the fingers. Relax. Move from your wrist and your elbow. Thumb can be straight or out, doesn't matter. Open tone, curved a little. Focus on your fingertips. Same basic position as the open tone. This is the slap tone. So you can have an open slap or a closed slap or muted slap. Okay? That's what I have for you. I hope it's helpful. If it is, leave your comments below. Join us over at Patreon/Kalani and become a patron, and you'll get more lessons over there because that's where I do most of my teaching. But if you're on YouTube, thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching. Hey, before we go, if you guys like this shirt, which I hope you do, you can get it by clicking some of the links below and supporting World Drum Club that way and looking awesome at the same time. You're welcome.